But the developments that come down, that you see coming down towards cemetery, were not there. They were all wooded areas, and they used to have camp meetings out there in the wooded area, back on the side of the church and behind the church. I would say more to the side. And in the stories, it tells us. I know from what Mom had looked up and everything that people came miles to the camp meetings, and there would be horse and buggy. That's how they came, by horse and buggy. I'm sure people walked, however they got here. They would fill the area, and they would have their camp meetings out there, and then they would go home. The camp meetings were their church. That's what they were having, church out in the wooded area. And I can imagine what that would look like, just seeing all these horse and buggies and just coming out and people meeting and worshiping God out in the wilderness. That would be something I would really like to see. The people who became members here at Honeycomb, they used to meet in house-to-house prayer meetings throughout Delaware County, mostly the media area, and I will say Marple. And they decided they wanted a church of their own. So they were looking for a plot, a place to build, and one of the founders actually had it.
They had three dreams of seeing sheep in the valley there. And they talked about that. Some of them would say so many years, some of them. And finally, I heard them say that's why the church was built there, was from the dreams of the sheep in the valley. And thank the good Lord, we have lived to see those sheep in the valley.
And they interpreted that to mean that was the place where they were supposed to build the church. And so that's what happened. So they had that inception. They built they had to buy the plot of land, which they did for the sum of $12. And I believe it was February 2nd when they bought the plot of land. Now, during that time, blacks were not allowed to buy property and stuff like that. So it was actually with the help of the Quakers that they actually purchased the land in name only, just to say they purchased it, but they deeded it over to the 9 members who became the founding members of Honeycomb.
I'm 83 years old. So as a child, I came, so I imagine maybe when I first started going to school, at that time it was, there were no kindergarten, so I'd say about 7 years old or even earlier, coming to Sunday school.
Oh, I guess over 65, 60 years or more. I basically was born and raised in this church. My grandfather, my parents, and now me and my children and my grandchildren are all part of Honeycomb Church. This is our rock and this is our foundation.
I was born, I guess, in Honeycomb. My parents were here, and when I became of age, I was always with them. I do remember Sunday night services at one time at 6 o'clock, and I always wanted to go with them, but being the youngest of 6 children, I had to stay home with my brothers and sisters.
I've been going to church since I remember since first grade, I said, so that makes 6 years old, 5 years old, and I'll be 84 in July, so I've been going here quite a while.
The teachers, like I said, I think I said that they were dedicated. They were dedicated, and they did the best they could. And obviously, it did some good because it stuck with most of the kids, even some of those who attended Sunday school and are, off different places and living in different states and so forth. They still attend church and so forth. So the word of God, I can say for Honeycomb, it went out and it touched lives. And I feel that it's continuing to touch lives. Christian Jubilee.